Ishu Agrawal?
Yes, sir.
Please sit down, Ishu.
Thank you, sir.
Ishu, tell us briefly about yourself, your academic qualifications, your work ex, and your main hobbies.
So my name is Ishu Agrawal. I hail from Dhantari, a small town near Raipur, Chhattisgarh. Sir, I am a chartered accountant by qualification. Sir, I have been practicing as a chartered accountant since clearing my chartered accountancy, and I have interest in football as well as Vipassana.
So, Ishu, my first question would be, clearing chartered accountancy is a very difficult task. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
I believe I've heard from many people that it's one of the most difficult qualifications, to work very hard.
Yes.
So, after having attained the CA qualification, and CAs today these days, they can really do a very good job. So, why civil services?
Sir, I've always had this thought of giving back to the society. So I come from a humble background, so I think society has, the people around me have played an important part in my ascent here. So sir, post clearing my chartered accountancy, I thought that civil services would provide me a wider canvas to further this thought process, as well as the prospective league that I'd be part of the eminent personalities of a society that would help me grow as a person. This was the thought process behind pursuing this as a career.
Now, how do you think your CA ship, if you get into, say, IRS or board billing in the IAS, how you think you would be able to use your qualification in the services?
So chartered accountancy has taught me to persevere and to work hard. So I think these are two qualities which a career in civil services demand. So I think these are the two attributes that I would carry over if I join civil services.
Okay, you tell me, you have become the finance secretary of the state, Chhattisgarh, and you have to prepare the budget provisions and budget, draft for the budget speech and presenting the budget. What are the various factors that you will keep in mind for the state as a whole?
Sir, if I were the finance secretary, given the task of drafting the budget for the state, so my consideration would be the developmental needs of the state, along with the revenues that the state earns through various means. Along with it, so I would take into consideration the FRBM limits set by the Parliament for the state. So these would be the broad.
I am asking a chartered accountant here, not a bureaucrat.
Yes, sir.
And how you would use your chartered accountancy? You are good at reviewing and analyzing a balance sheet and a profit and loss account. How would you prepare the profit and loss account of a state?
So I would follow the set procedure and the rules that are enshrined therein to prepare the financial statement for the state.
The nomenclature may change, but you have receipts, you have expenses.
Yes, sir.
I am giving you a hint, if you can further expand on that.
So the receipts would be in the form of GST collection from SGST, the collection from district mineral fund that the government charges on prospecting of mines, and the expenditure would mainly be in the field of education, healthcare.
Some audit reforms have been made lately. Can you recall some of the audit reforms which have been brought about by the government?
Sir, White Companies Act 2013, the uh, the the new provisions coming under Companies Act 2013 have done away with the have introduced a limit on the number of statutory audits that a chartered accountant can perform, so as to enhance the quality of the attestation function that we perform. Apart from that, for listed companies, if an auditor resigns, the SEBI has made it mandatory for the chartered accountant for the company to publish the resignation letter of the chartered accountant or the auditor on the website of the company, so as to let the shareholders know the exact reason for his departure. So apart from these, the criteria for qualification and disqualification have been made more stringent in the present Companies Act compared to the one of 1956.
The Ukraine-Russian conflict have put India, the stand that India has taken, incidentally has put India in a block where you have Pakistan and China and India. Is it a good development to to improve the relations with these two countries further, or do you think it's going to be detrimental that we'll be clubbed with the China and Pakistan? Russia apart, Russia of course is fighting the war because all have taken the same stand.
So in my humble opinion, the present situation may not result, may not cause a long-lasting peace if a long-lasting truce with Pakistan or China. If you look at it that way, the reason that we are in the same block with Pakistan and China, as you said, is because India follows the policy of strategic autonomy and pursuing its national interests. India has so far abstained from criticizing Russia for its invasion in Ukraine, but I don't think it would be appropriate to set India, Pakistan and China in the same block, because Pakistan and China have been upfront in their support to Russia.
Ishu, I'm very happy that we have had a very fruitful interaction till now. And I would like to understand from you, what do we understand by left-wing extremism, also called Naxalism? Its impact on the country today?
So, left-wing extremism refers to the problem of. So, left-wing extremism refers to the extreme pursuance of Maoist philosophy, which aims at overthrowing the state. The problem, as you said, is also called as Naxalism, and my state, Chhattisgarh, has been bearing the brunt of it for past many years. So the problem, as of now, seems to be better controlled than it was in the last decade. The red corridor has been shrinking. The percentage of the disenchanted tribals who join Naxalism and have been surrendering is increasing. So I think we are on the right tracks.
Any estimate on the volume of extortion money by the extremists per annum?
Sir, I don't know.
Never mind. There's another term, urban Naxalites. Till now it was in the badlands and the forest areas, the forested areas of Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand. But now there's a term, urban Naxalites. Gurgaon, Bhima Koregaon and others. What do we understand by urban Naxalites?
Sir, urban Naxalites are the overground workers and ideological supporters of left-wing extremism, who perform their role in supporting this menace through mobilizing finance as well as recruitment. Through their ideological support, the left-wing extremists have been trying to expand their base.
Issue, they also have a very mobilized and a very vibrant and a proactive media management cell. Have you heard of that?
Yes.
You must have heard of one of the accused, Father Stan Swami, his jail sentence and the alleged atrocities on Father Stan Swami within the jail. Are you familiar with the allegations
So
and the counters given by the law enforcement agencies?
So I don't know the exact nature of allegations against him, but I do know that he was associated. He has been alleged to be associated with left-wing extremism.
Okay, coming down to your core areas, and as an end user, there have been some very major changes in the income tax department, that now the scrutiny and the assessment will be anonymous. Are you aware of the provisions?
Yes, sir.
What are the provisions, and will they be counterproductive, beneficial, or neutral?
Sir, the Income Tax Act has been amended recently to provide for faceless assessment, wherein the assessee and the prospective assessing officer are unknown to each other, and the whole process of assessment and scrutiny is done through the income tax portal. So I believe it's a step in right direction, because majority of the cases where the revenue was lost pertain to collusion between the assessing officer and the assessee, and by using technology, the instances of such collusion would decrease certainly. However, there have been apprehensions that it would cause problems to the old tax practitioners who are not much.
There'll be glitches in the system and technological glitches.
Yes, sir.
Have there been technological glitches in the system till now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what are they?
So, for instance, sir, on uploading a return, on uploading a return, confirmation in form of confirmation in the format of section 143(1) is generated, which shows that the income tax department has accepted the client's return. However, there have been instances there where the confirmation.
Okay, since time is less, I'll come to my last question now, Ishu. Have you heard of the Central Vista Redevelopment Plan? What is it?
So it's a plan to develop the area wherein India Gate, Vijay Chowk, and the Parliament lies. I'm not aware of the exact
Never mind.
expanse of.
Are you aware of the criticism?
Yes, sir.
What is the criticism?
So the project has been criticized, citing that it would result into loss of vegetation nearby. Apart from that, it has been said that it would cause a detriment to the heritage structures like the Parliament building as well as India Gate.
Thank you, Ishu. I'll hand you over to my illustrious colleague.
Well, very briefly, you tell me what are the three main challenges. You shortlist three major challenges which is faced by India today. It's internal, external, both. Three. Summarize them. Please tell me.
So may I have a minute to gather my thoughts?
Beg your pardon?
May I have a minute to gather my thoughts?
Oh, sure. Sure.
Sir, in my opinion, the three major problems that our country faces today are number one, sir, rising inequality. Secondly, tapering growth in our economy. And thirdly, the problem of unemployment.
These three you think. Any external challenges you feel? These are internal you have outlined. Anything you feel some external challenges India is facing?
So India has been facing the external challenge in the form of terrorism emanating from Pakistan. Further, due to the instability in Afghanistan, this problem has been accentuated. Apart from that, we have the problem of unsettled border with China towards our east, which has been cause of concern lately due to the skirmishes that occurred in 2020. So these are the major external security threats that we've been witnessing.
Now that you are aware of what is happening externally, as I gathered from your answer, Just one more last question. What do you think is happening in Pakistan today, politically?
So Pakistan has been facing political instability
Yes.
as the existing government is due to face no confidence motion in the coming while. Apart from that, the Pakistani army, which has been thought to be the supporter of the current regime, has stated that it will show neutrality when it comes to the no confidence motion. So it has been said by the political commentators that the current regime will be out in it.
Okay. Last, what is the political party which is ruling Pakistan? What is the name of the party?
So the name of the party is Tehreek-e-Pakistan, which is headed by Mr. Imran Khan.
Thank you very much. Over to you, sir.
Ishu, you are from Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh is very rich in resources. Why it is considered a poor state?
So Chhattisgarh is rich in terms of mineral resources. However, the poverty in Chhattisgarh can be attributed to lack of development of industries. The majority of the minerals that we extract here in Chhattisgarh are either exported to foreign countries like Japan or extracted or sent to other states for processing and further manufacturing. So this is one major reason that due to lack of industrial base and the distribution of the fruits of mining amongst the local, that we face the problem of poverty over here.
Normally one comment we read is that chartered accountants, they tell justice companies how to convert black into white. Whether this charge is correct or not correct, or what extent it is correct.
So sadly, these charges are correct. However, I won't attribute these charges to the whole chartered accountant community. Every profession has some certain black sheeps who should be identified and punished. I think the blame is to be borne by those who indulge in such practices.
Has there been any steps taken by the government or by state government or central government or by, say, companies to reduce this charge that black to white comes to chartered account?
Sir, our mother institute ICI has been proactive in identifying and punishing those indulged in such activities. The ICI Act, the Chartered Accountants Act, empowers ICI to strip such members of their membership and to initiate prosecution against them.
Okay.
Ishu, can you throw some light on major human development indicators of Chhattisgarh?
So I haven't read more. I'll have to read more about this.
Okay, about the literacy, standard of living, about their GDP.
So literacy rate in Chhattisgarh is approx 78%, which is higher than the national average of 74%.
Good.
So apart from that, the per capita income of Chhattisgarh is near about 1 lakh rupees, which is lower than the national average of about 1,40,000 rupees.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, I would like to know your view on India's strategy on Russia and Ukraine issue.
So India's view on Russia and Ukraine issue is driven largely by its national interest. Maintaining its strategic autonomy, India has been not quite vocal in the support of Ukraine or in the opposition of Russia. However, the situation warrants this stand because India's defense requirements are overly dependent upon Russian imports, and any action or any statement in this regard must cater to these situations. So I think.
Okay, thank you. I pass on to Chairman, sir.
So Ishu, tell me, you have talked about left-wing extremism. So what is, how insurgency, terrorism, militancy and left-wing extremism, what are the differences between these, among these four? And give some example within the Indian context. Shall I repeat?
So insurgency means to overthrow the government. It has been witnessed in the northeastern part of our country. So left-wing extremism also has a similar aim, but it's driven by the leftist ideology of propagated by Mao. So thirdly, militancy. Militancy may not per se involve the aim of overthrowing the state. It seeks to further its view through violent means. So the fourth one,
Terrorism.
terrorism. So terrorism is similar to akin to militancy. To propagate, to further its political objective, it seeks to spread terror among the masses and reduce the legitimacy of the state.
Give illustrations. You have given for Northeast insurgency.
So,
What about militancy and terrorism?
so militancy and terrorism have been witnessed in Jammu and Kashmir region of our country, and left-wing extremism has been witnessed in Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Bihar, and Odisha.
So, Ishu, we have covered a lot of ground. Any question which you would like us to ask from you, from a subject of your choice or something we have not covered?
So if you could ask me about football, that'd be great.
About football. So this football, I'm not going to ask you why it's not popular in India, but this league, IPL, has become, you know, cricket was always loved by Indians because of historical reasons. But this IPL league system has, you know, given a energy to the IPL and to the cricket. Now, football league has not picked up. Do you think that if some, you know, private sector, you know, sponsors some big sport event happens in India, football, maybe World Football, you know, FIFA Cup, you think this will instill some kind of interest among Indians?
So Indians are great lover of football. Even FIFA has admitted that. FIFA has called India a sleeping giant when it comes to the viewership. So the interest in terms of football is present here. However, the interest towards domestic football is not that large compared to the interest toward Western or European football leagues. So I think the Indian Super League that you're talking about is a step that is in the right direction. However, it must also be complemented with grassroots development in football, because as we witness in cricket, that kids play cricket in their gullies and in their schools. However, similar interest is not seen in football. So if we have a system of developing players at the grassroots level since their childhood, I think we'll have world-class players soon, and football will gain prominence in India as well.
So, Ishu, thank you very much. We will give you our feedback.
Sir, I think I was stiff bit, and
So you tick mark this point, Steve. Next. We are endorsing what you are. This smile we never saw when you were. I don't know why.
Sir, actually, I had given a mock yesterday. I was told that I smiled too much. That's why I was.
You became, I thought you were stiff there also, but you are just from one extreme to the other. You are also
Right wing extremist.
right wing. So please, the first lesson is do smile a bit. Next, what is your other assessment?
Sir, I think I am not very fluent in my delivery. I fumble a lot.
And why is it so?
Sir, English is not my first
No.
language.
I noticed that. See, I'm very blunt, in telling things to candidates because main aim is that they should improve. When he asked you a question about the indicators of Chhattisgarh, and he asked you about literacy, you were prompt. Sir, literacy is this, and I was noticing. Initially, the questions before that, you were doing जैसे बीच में आप pause लेते हैं, which doesn't look nice. It never happened when you were answering that. Were you not confident when you told about literacy rate and this, the indicators? You were, because you were knowledgeable.
Yes.
So all that you have said, that I was pausing, I was speaking slowly, it's all because you were searching the ideas. टटोल रहे थे अपने माइंड में से, ये भी निकले वो निकल नहीं रहा था. तो निकलेगा नहीं तो बोलोगे क्या? तो उसमें डालो ताकि वो निकले. Am I clear?
Yes.
So that means you have to expand your knowledge from all angles in totality. Whether it is your chartered accountancy, whether the subjects which are so tempting otherwise. If we had time, I would have asked you so many things. Then I did try to. And always remember, Ishu, when some question is asked from your background, the board is relating it to the government side. कि अब आप गवर्नमेंट में जाने का सोच रहे हो, इतनी आगे तक पहुंच गए, तो कुछ तो पढ़ लो कि सरकार में फाइनेंस का क्या इस्तेमाल होता है. और चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट तो बजट वाले दिन बैठ के नोट करते रहते हैं कि क्या बोला फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर ने.
Yes.
So it was not good. I thought that I'm not speaking to a chartered accountant. Audit reforms you mentioned because it is all theoretical. You must have read somewhere this. तो क्या है अभी आपकी अप्रोच में, you are young also. It's more of theoretical rather than application. So apply करो. कब है इंटरव्यू आपका?
Sir, 12th April को.
तो दिन कम है, तभी आप बार ले रहे हो. तो आप लीजिए. Now you have had enough feedback. अब बार मत मॉक में जाते रहो. With the same kind of knowledge, without adding anything to your knowledge, you're going to mock 1, mock 2, mock 3. सब यही बोलेंगे, आप नॉलेज बढ़ाओ, फिर 4 दिन बाद जाओ, फिर 3 दिन बाद जाओ. That will be better. जो पॉइंट आउट किए जाएं उसको. So chartered accountancy you will be asked because you have no other. और इतने सब्जेक्ट्स हैं आपके, कॉमर्स, अकाउंट, एवरीथिंग, and apply to the government.
Yes.
कंपनी एक्ट में 2013 में क्या चेंजेस हुए, अमेंडमेंट्स आए हैं कंपनी एक्ट के बाद, जो आपने मेंशन भी की. CSR, कॉर्पोरेट सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, टैक्स मैटर्स, 2 ऑप्शंस ऑफ इनकम टैक्स, कॉर्पोरेट टैक्स में जो आपको रिलीफ छूट दी है गवर्नमेंट ने, हाउ विल इट हैव इम्पैक्ट ऑन इकोनॉमी, सर्टेन अदर अनाउंसमेंट्स इन द बजट. प्लीज गो थ्रू दैट. ऑल फाइनेंस मैटर्स you must be very thorough. Cryptocurrency could be one of these points. Taxation on cryptocurrency 1st April को आ जाएगा, आप 12 अप्रैल को जाओगे. So there will be lot of news. So सभी finance application to government, economic survey, read all these documents.
Yes, sir.
Okay. फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री की कुछ नहीं, आप वेबसाइट को एक बार ढूंढ डालो, एक एक करके एक को क्लिक करो, देखो क्या है, देखो क्या है, स्क्रॉल डाउन करो, पढ़ लो पूरा. आपको पूरा आइडिया हो जाएगा कि गवर्नमेंट में फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर करती क्या है और क्या क्या अनाउंसमेंट्स हुए हैं, लेटेस्ट न्यूज को देखिए. इट विल गिव अ लिंक और आपको समझ में ज़्यादा अच्छा आएगा बजाय एक नॉन फाइनेंस आदमी के, क्योंकि यू आर अ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट. देन अबाउट छत्तीसगढ़, उसकी भी आपकी नॉलेज थोड़ी सी शैलो थी, थोड़ी क्या काफ़ी शैलो थी. And Chhattisgarh is a very tempting state because it has very unique things, and left wing extremism तो आएगा ही आएगा. उसको और थोड़ा सॉलिड बना लो, जैसे आप मेन एग्जाम में नोट्स बनाते थे.
Yes. Yes.
नोट बना लो यार, क्या है. LW में छत्तीसगढ़ की व्हाट आर द इशू, पहले क्या था, अब कैसे हुआ, इम्प्रूव हो रहा है तो उसके कुछ फिगर. सर, इट वाज इन द ईयर 1990 it was this, 30 years hence it has come down. Things are improving, and there have been some incidents with CRPF and this, that, whatever, but gradually it is. और LWE की आप ओवरऑल भी देखो,
Yes.
पूरे स्टेट, पूरे कंट्री में LWE के जितने डिस्ट्रिक्ट होते थे उसमें बहुत गिरावट है. तो इसका पूरी तैयारी करो. छत्तीसगढ़ के बहाने वो होगा. ट्राइबल्स, पता नहीं जनरली सुमेश जी पूछते हैं ट्राइबल्स का, बट छत्तीसगढ़ एंड ट्राइबल्स दे आर इनसेपरेबल. ट्राइबल टूरिज्म पॉलिसी क्या है, ट्राइबल्स के लिए क्या क्या किया जाता है, व्हाट इज दी डोनर डूइंग, राइट. नॉर्थ ईस्ट का है वो तो, बट ट्राइबल का अलग से एक नोशनल बजट का पोर्शन ट्राइबल्स के लिए डाला जाता है. हर मिनिस्ट्री का जो बजट होता है उसमें ट्राइबल वेलफेयर के नाम से मान लो 20 करोड़ है तो उसमें से 10% 2 करोड़ अलग से ट्राइबल के लिए रखा जाएगा. तो ऑल दीज थिंग्स इट हैज फाइनेंशियल कॉनोटेशंस आल्सो. योर रिप्लाई अबाउट कि मैं वापस सोसाइटी को दूंगा, वो थोड़ा सा बहुत ज़्यादा एक आइडियलिस्टिक सा लग रहा है ना. अभी तो आप एक्वायर कर रहे हो, फिर देना बाद में, अभी तो कमाओगे फिर दोगे, तो वो मत बोलो. और आपने लिखा कि सोसाइटी इसी कैनवस के अंदर और एमिनेंट पर्सनैलिटी के साथ में मैं आ जाऊंगा. तो दोनों बड़ा विरोधाभास, समझते हो आप. एक तरफ आप एमिनेंट पर्सनैलिटी की तरफ देख रहे हो, मैं भी उनकी तरह हो जाऊंगा, और दूसरी तरफ आप गिव बैक की बात कर रहे हो. बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट एंड बी वेरी वेरी मॉडेस्ट कि मैं सिविल एंड अपना फैक्टर डालो ना. कौन बिलीव करेगा कि आप नेशन के लिए लड़ने के लिए आप सर्विस में आ रहे हो. यू मेंशन अबाउट योर ओन, सर आई हैड पैशन फॉर पब्लिक सर्विसेज. शुरू से मेरे माइंड में था कि मैं पब्लिक, यू मेंशन दैट कि राइट फ्रॉम द बिगनिंग, दैट वाज अ गुड बिगनिंग. बट आपने कहा शुरू से मेरे दिमाग में था कि मैं सोसाइटी को कुछ दूँ. पहले अपने आप को बनो तो सही. तो आप ये कहो कि शुरू से मेरे माइंड में था कि आई विल गो टू पब्लिक सर्विसेज. I chose chartered accountancy because in any case I had to choose some profession. But I had been committed. Even while doing CA, I used to prepare for IAS. And now today I'm full-fledgedly, I have reached this stage and I'm passionate because diversity of job, this. उसके virtues गिना दो. Be more assertive. Laid back से थे आप. Communication अपने आप improve होगा, but थोड़ा slow बोलते हो आप. और थोड़ा सा जोर से भी बोलो. असर्टिव से मतलब ये नहीं कि बहुत जोर जोर से बोलो, थोड़ा सा मूवमेंट भी, आपका बॉडी लैंग्वेज भी हो. यू आर नॉट लुकिंग वेरी कॉन्फिडेंट. सो आपके कम्युनिकेशन की तरीके से कॉन्फिडेंस आता है, आपके स्माइल से कॉन्फिडेंस आता है, आपकी बॉडी लैंग्वेज से कॉन्फिडेंस दिखता है, और बाकी आपकी नॉलेज से दिखता है. और नॉलेज से ये सारी चीज़ें आती हैं. इज इट नॉट?
यस सर.
और बताइए, आस्क मी एनीथिंग.
सर सिटिंग पोस्चर क्या होना चाहिए मेरा? व्हाट शुड बी माय सिटिंग पोस्चर व्हाइल फेसिंग द बुक?
यू आर फाइन.
सर शुड माय हैंड्स बी ऑन माय थाइज और
नहीं यार, एक जगह चिपकाओ मत. मतलब ऐसे मत बैठ जाओ कि बिल्कुल जैसे वो कोई एक्यूज बैठा है. यू नो यू आर टॉकिंग. So while you are talking, you can always switch your hand from here to here and whatever, है ना. बट इतना बिल्कुल वो मत करो कि एकदम चिपका दो. आपको खुद बोलने में दिक्कत आएगी. You will be conscious about your position because normally आप ऐसे तो नहीं बैठते.
yes.
पर रिलैक्स भी मत बैठो, बट पीछे जैसे अभी आप बैठे हो बिल्कुल ठीक है. और हाथ पे हाथ कभी यूँ रख लो, कभी आप यूँ कर लो, कभी एक सर आई वुड लाइक टू एक्सप्लेन बस करके फिर आप नीचे हाथ ले आइए. इतने हाथों को कोई देखता नहीं है वैसे. और बताइए.
Sir, in your assessment in entirety, sir, since I have only 15 days to prepare for my interviews.
60%. You'll get this paper also with the tick mark on all the members. किस में आप 60%, mind you, issue we have given you because we see a lot of potential in you as a civil servant. तो यूपीएससी में भी जब वो बोर्ड मेंबर्स आपस में सलाह करते हो, कहते हैं क्या ये अच्छा सिविल सर्वेंट बन सकता है, ये देखो. चाहे 2-4 क्वेश्चन नहीं भी बता पाए, आप समझे, वो क्वालिटी आप में. इस पे आप इनकैश करो. ठीक है. यू हैव अ बैलेंस ऑफ जजमेंट. यू हैव अ पर्सनैलिटी विच इज बैलेंस्ड. एक्सट्रीम नहीं हो. अपने इंटरनेशनल रिलेशन में भी जो स्टैंड लिया, आई वॉज वेरी हैप्पी. तो यही स्टैंड आपको हर एक गवर्नमेंट प्रोग्राम है उसमें भी प्लस एंड माइनस दोनों चीज. तो दैट इज व्हाट पर्सनैलिटी यू हैव. उसको थोड़ा बिल्ड अप ऑन करो. व्हाट एल्स?
Sir, I think I wasn't crisp in my answers also, as sir also pointed out once.
You are not. So प्रैक्टिस करो, 10-12 दिन भी कोई कम नहीं होते, यही करोगे, छुट्टी ले लो कहीं, यू आर वर्किंग समवेयर.
No, sir, I have come to Delhi to prepare for.
हाँ, तो दिल्ली में अभी ये तो नहीं मकान ही ढूंढ रहे हो आप ऐसे?
नहीं, sir, I'm settled here.
You are settled, no? Lot of tasks. And mock interview आपने 2 कर लिए, अभी और 2. No, taking too much feedback and not having enough time to improve, तो फायदा क्या हुआ? बैठ जाइए पढ़ने में. और करंट अफेयर्स की तो कोई सीमा ही नहीं है, देखो, आई कांट टेल यू, बट डैब से रिलेटेड जो भी है, छत्तीसगढ़ करंट अफेयर्स, अकाउंटेंसी करंट अफेयर्स, फाइनेंस मैटर्स करंट अफेयर्स, योर हॉबीज करंट अफेयर्स, ठीक है? Is that all?
Yes.
All the best.
All the best. Thank you.
Okay, so one thing, your name is a little unusual. What is the meaning of this name?
Sir, it does not have any meaning as such.
No?
It's derived from the name of Jesus Christ. in
I
Hindi.
thought as much. Issue.
But issue is Sanskrit word. It
Yes.
means arrow.
Ish.
Arrow.
Ishwar. Ish.
भगवान यीशु मसीह.
Yishu
No,
Masih.
no, issue
Isa
is
Masih.
arrow.
अभी तो इनके पेरेंट्स से पूछना पड़ेगा कि उन्होंने किस मकसद से रखा.
Thank you so much.